IHSA Football family, how are you guys doing? Games of the week right now, and it is week 6. We are almost 2/3 done with the IHSA football season. Can you believe it? I can't. My name is Coach Big Pete, aka Peter Limber. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on Snapchat. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. If you have any questions, it's coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Also, Deep Dish Football Live this Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the Facebook page of Deep Dish Football. Thursday is DuPage Run and Shoot Show with my co-host Patrick Cotto. Saturday is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, 9 a.m. on the Coach Big Pete Facebook page, the live broadcast. Also, just a quick reminder, this month, and this is the last reminder of the month because September is ending. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I love St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you like my work, if you don't like my work, if you hate my work, if you hate me, that doesn't matter. Please leave a donation to St. Jude Children's Hospital. They do a wonderful job with the kids, and they help families that can't pay for treatments. They pay for the bills. They do a wonderful job. Please check it out. St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They're just awesome. They're awesome. They really are awesome and an awesome group. So please check it out. St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So here we go. Week 6 games of the week as I go for the weeks. Quick reminder, by the way, the polls are going to come after this video. On this video, after me speaking, the new polls for week 6 come. And again, polls don't mean crap. This is just for fun. And most of the polls don't mean absolute crap. I mean, the IHSA AP polls are a joke. All the other polls are a joke. It's just for fun. And you play the game to win. And that's what football's all about. So just a quick reminder, by the way. I have to keep reminding you guys. Come on. Shouldn't have to be doing this. All right. So let's get into week 6. Deep Dish Football Game of the Week. Voted by you guys is Lane Tech versus Taft High School. It's going to be a good game in the CPS Land of Lincoln Conference. Taft High School's 3-2. Lane Tech is 2-3. I'm really excited to see this game. I'm excited to see what Taft has to offer. Lane Tech has got a great passing attack, an underrated quarterback in Daniel Adams. I'm excited. This is going to be a good game. Deep Dish Football Game of the Week. And a quick reminder, next week, I'm going to be in the Black Diamond Conference. I'll be watching Cesar Valier take on Johnston City at Johnston City. I'm traveling to Johnston City to see this great game next week for week 7. So let's get into week 6, shall we? All right. And going down the schedule of IHSA.org. You might want to check it out. It's a great place for great information. Provides playoff numbers and a whole shebang. Check it out, IHSA.org. IHSA does a wonderful job with it. All right, so Effingham takes on Mount Zion. It's going to be a very interesting game. I love Mount Zion. They are doing a wonderful job. They're playing their butts off. Definitely an interesting team to keep an eye out for, no doubt about that. That game got canceled too. Not that many games that got canceled, by the way. Big shout to Illinois. Big shout to you guys. COVID numbers going down. I'm happy to see that, and it's a huge positive for the rest of the season. Definitely a huge positive. Normal community, they're just rocking. If they're playing Peoria, this is going to be a huge game. Peoria's ranked. Normal community is undefeated. This is a big game, but I'm telling you right now, big shout out to Normal Community. Well deserved. They're big dogs and they're undefeated. Definitely, you got to keep an eye out for that Normal Community High School. Peoria too. I believe they only have one loss, and that loss was to Wheaton St. Francis. Definitely, you got to check out Peoria Notre Dame. I'm sorry, not Peoria Notre Dame. I apologize. Peoria High School. So Peoria High School versus Normal Community is going to be a big game that you definitely got to keep an eye out for. No doubt about that. So Not that much going on. Yeah, not that much going on in the Blake Diamond Conference. Next week is the big game as Johnson City takes on Cesar Value, which I will be at. Yeah. Very interesting in um, Salem. I'm very interested in Salem High School. Salem High School has sparked my interest. It started last Saturday. I'm keeping a very close eye on that game as they take on Bree Central. Brother Rice versus Mount Carmel. That's always going to be a big game. Mount Carmel just got their first loss to St. Ignatius, the big upset of the century, you could say. So Brother Rice and Mount Carmel, both teams have 1 losses. We'll see what happens. Marist takes on Loyola Academy Saturday. Another huge game. Loyola undefeated. They beat Fenwick in a tough fought game. Marist has 1 loss as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting. I think Mount Carmel is going to be ready for Brother Rice. I think they're angry that they lost to St. Ignatius, and they got blown out. You can say they got blown out. Loyola Academy. I think this is one of their last tests of the season, if I'm not mistaken, as they take on Marist. Wait, I think they do still have to take on Mount Carmel, if I'm not mistaken. That's their other last test. Okay. Nazareth Academy in St. Rita, they got the win last week. This is going to be a big thing, and they got their quarterback now in Logan, their class of 2025 quarterback, who's a freshman. He's an absolute star, up and coming star. They're taking on St. Rita. That's going to be another big game as St. Rita takes on Nazareth Academy. Montini, Providence Catholic. This is literally the game of, oh crap, we need to start winning now. And Montini, they had a tough game against Leo Catholic. Providence, they started out hot. They got a little bit cold. This is going to be another game of, we got to win. This is a game we got to win, guys. Nope. Just looking at the IHSA.org. Make sure you check it out. It's a great website, by the way. Great website. Tuscola is another interesting team. Central A&M, another interesting team in the Central Illinois Conference. Definitely teams that you got to check out. Sacred Heart Griffin at Jacksonville. That could be a very interesting game. I'm going to give the favor to Sacred Heart Griffin, but I love Jacksonville. I love Eli Owens. I love that offense that Jacksonville has. Hopefully, we'll see what they can do. Springfield High School, Normal Springfield. Springfield, they got to win that game. That's definitely a huge game for Springfield. Evanston, keep an eye out for Evanston. They beat New Trier. If they get on fire, Evanston could be a serious team in the playoffs. Do not sleep on Evanston. I'm telling you that right now. Deerfield at Highland Park is an interesting game. Deerfield is riding high. They only have 1 loss. That's an interesting game, no doubt about that. We go down to Whitney Young at Phillips is a huge game. Saturday game. And we talk about the Phillips. They got the big win over Simeon last week. Whitney Young is undefeated. Shout out to Whitney Young. We need to start talking more about Whitney Young. No doubt about that. Big shout to Whitney Young. They're balling out, and they're taking on a tough Phillips team. If Whitney Young gets that win, you talk about big. A team that deserves to be, and I haven't talked about them that much, and they deserve to be talked about more as Whitney Young. No doubt about that. Big shout out to them. And let's go down. Duquesne Conference, as we get down into the Duquesne Conference as well. Wheaton North, Glenbar North got their first loss against Batavia High School. Wheaton North, they're still rolling after their one loss to Batavia High School. This is going to be an interesting game in the Duquesne Conference. Definitely a game you need to check out. Batavia versus Wheaton Warrenville South. This is a big game for Wheaton Warrenville South, but how can you stop that train that is called Batavia High School? They're absolutely stacked. Neuqua Valley versus Mateo Valley. Mateo Valley is 3-2. They're on a 3-game winning streak. This could be an interesting game for Mateo Valley. Let's see how they handle a tough Neuqua Valley that beat Naperville Central in double overtime. They're undefeated. You gotta love what Neuqua Valley is doing. Naperville North. This is their last stand as they take on Naperville Central. Prairie Ridge versus Hampshire could be an interesting game in the Fox Valley Conference. Prairie Ridge, we talk more about Prairie Ridge. They suffered their first loss against Cary Grove. Now to bounce back, can they get that win against a tough Hampshire team? Cary Grove, I don't see anybody challenging Cary Grove for the rest of the season. I think Cary Grove's can go undefeated. I'll be surprised if they get a loss. And I'm telling you right now, watch out for Jacobs. Keep an eye out for Jacobs, please. Eureka. They're playing El Paso Gridley. Please, I'm telling you right now, for the Heart of Illinois Large Conference, please keep an eye out for Eureka High School. Do not sleep on Eureka High School. They could be a serious team. I'm telling you that right now. Go down some more. We go into the Illinois Central 8. Reed Custer, Wilmington. That's the big dog game of the Illinois Central 8. Both teams undefeated. Reed Custer, speed. Wilmington, old school football. That is a big game. Please, people, pay attention to this game. This is a big game in the state for the 3A. Keep an eye out on this game. Reed Custer at Wilmington. Another game, Herscher at Lyle. Keep a very close eye on Lyle. If they need this win against Herscher, this is very key for them. Streeter at Peatone, another big game. Streeter needs to get back on the tracks against a tough Peatone team that lost to Reed Custer last week. Please keep an eye out for it. Let's see. Nope. Morris at Kalen, that's a good game as well. Morris is undefeated, taking on a tough Kalen team at Kalen. Definitely a game you got to check out for. Keep an eye out for Plano. I keep talking about Plano, but honestly, you got to keep an eye out for Plano. No doubt about that. Ala at Arcola is an interesting game in the Lincoln Prairie Conference. Nope. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting game to keep an eye out for. And in Weathersfield at Knoxville is a huge game in the Lincoln Trail Conference. Knoxville is unbelievable, by the way. You got to keep an eye out for this Knoxville team. They are a special team. I talk about this during my rankings, and in Weathersfield needs a bounce back, needs a big win against this very, very dominant Knoxville team. No doubt about that. Oldman, Richland County at Mount Carmel could be an interesting game in the Little Illini. Mount Carmel is just that the Golden Aces. They're on fire right now. I'm telling you that right now. IC versus Wheaton Academy. Please. I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on this Wheaton Academy team. They're taking on a tough IC team. This is a big proving point. Big proving point for Wheaton Academy against a very, very, very tough IC team. And they just moved to 3A. So watch out. I'm telling you that right now. All right. And Metamora at Morton is always an interesting game. Definitely a game to check out. Washington and Pekin as well. Pekin, the Dragons, all looking good. It will only one loss, if I'm not mistaken. Hoffman Estates at Friend is always an interesting game. Definitely a game to check out. Conant at Palatine, another interesting game too. Triad at Muscata is the big game in Southern Illinois. Definitely a game you got to check out in the Mississippi Valley Conference. We go to the North Suburban Conference. Lake Forest at Libertyville is the huge game. That's the big dog game. No doubt about that. Especially a Lake Forest team. They couldn't play last week, and they got a forfeit win as Lake Forest will take on Libertyville. Libertyville needs to win this game against a tough Lake Forest team. Boylan Catholic at Harlem. That's going to be a big game as well. As we talk about Harlem, they only have one loss. Boylan Catholic got the big win last week. Definitely a game to check out. Belvedere North at Rockton Hanahu. If I'm two undefeated teams in the NIC, definitely a game you need to check out. That is another big game in the state of Illinois as Belvedere North takes on Rockton Hanahu. You got to keep an eye out for that game. That is going to be a huge game. And Belvedere North is having is having such a great season. They're having an unbelievable season. Wakanda at Lake Villa Lakes, North Lake County. Wakanda is undefeated. Lakes is having a great season. Interesting. This is going to be a big dog game in the North Lake Country Conference. Nope, that game got canceled. Rushville at Farmington is going to be a very big dog game in the Prairie Land Conference. Both teams are, if I'm not mistaken, ranked, if I'm not mistaken, and highly appreciated by the media. It's going to be a big game as Rushville takes on Farmington. Williamsville at North Mac in the Sagamore Conference is another interesting game. We got a lot of great games this week. I think we're going to finally get the tempo set of who's going to get into the playoffs after this week. I really do. I think this is going to be a big week. Just going down. Harrisburg at Benton is always an interesting game. Keep an eye out for that Harrisburg offensive line as they go against that Benton defensive line. Kankakee at Rich Township could be an interesting game as well. Manuka versus at Oswego East could be an interesting game as well. Plainfield North at Oswego, another interesting game too. Bolingbrook at home at Flossmoor is always a big dog game. Definitely a game that you got to keep an eye out for as Bolingbrook goes to home at Flossmoor. They both got one losses, if I'm not mistaken. Still going down. York takes on Glenbard West. That's going to be a huge dog game as well. Definitely a game you got to check out for. And Mama Hood Seymour, Quincy Notre Dame. That's a big game as well for the non-conference games. Definitely a game you want to check out. No doubt about that. The coin at Breeze Matter Day looking great as they beat Quincy Notre Dame last week. Definitely an interesting game as well. Going down more. Lena Winslow at Chicago DePaul. That's an interesting game as well.
That's a very interesting game. Definitely a game to check out. What else? Any more? Richmond Burden at Sycamore. Can't talk more about that game. Richmond Burden, Sycamore, both ranked teams taking on each other in Week 6 action as well. Definitely an interesting game. And that is it. All right. Make sure I'm actually a little bit shocked at the games this week. There's a lot of good games, and I'm telling you right now, I've got a feeling that we can finally get a much clearer picture this week. So make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. The rankings, the polls are going to be out as soon as I stop speaking. They're going to go on at the end of this video. Make sure you check them out. Deep Dish Football Live, 8 p.m. tonight, this Wednesday. Thursday is DuPage Run and Shoot, 8 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete. If you like my work, if you don't like my work, if you hate me, if you love me, please leave a tip to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, as September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you guys so much for joining and watching this video. Have a lovely day.